Let me just,
Correct.
and then I have some questions for Ms. Langford.
Yes.
Just so you all understand my background, I represented bankruptcy trustees in Ponzi schemes, okay? And I represented investors who were victimized and who were either had received more than they'd put in, had invested $100,000, got $50,000 back, but other people only got, got zero back. So, I mean, I understand where Mr. Coffey's coming from and some of his comments. And so, what I'm trying to figure out is going back to those three things that I brought up earlier. Okay, bankruptcy, how far and who should be subject to the clawback? SIPC, how far should the insurance reach? So in my state and in my area, I have the indirect investors that Mr. Levitin has talked about, who didn't know Madoff, they didn't know Petters, they didn't know any of these guys. They invested through a fund that then invested in these particular entities. How far should the SIPC insurance reach? I mean, that's the policy decision we've got to make. And then tax-wise, when can somebody take a loss? Can you take those illusory gains and get a net operating loss carryback so that might give you at least some recovery? Those are the three big policy questions I have. But I also am just interested, like Ms. Langford, how did you get into the Madoff network?
How I got in was by looking for a vehicle to. I had just sold my house, and it was my retirement. And I asked a friend, and I said, I want something, safe, liquid, and diversified. And he said, hands down, this is the safest place you can put your money. So I entered into it that way.
So you were a direct investor with Madoff, or did you come through something else?
It was indirect. It was a partnership, and limited partnership, and so technically it wasn't a technically retirement account, but it was my retirement money.
Okay, thank you. And I just one more point to Mr. Coffey's statement. Mr. Kanjorski's bill that we're going to hear today and tomorrow and Friday does, I think at a $10 million level, separate custodial accounts from investment advisor accounts to try to separate those things so that somebody isn't posting you phony statements and advising you at the same time. Or I hopefully that kind of separation will work as you've suggested.